Okay, I'm only doing this video, essentially, because I have no doubt I am about to be bombarded with messages from you awesome people saying things like,
Dave, did you see the headline in regards to Jason Blum? Holy shit, man, you were right!
and I'm like, oh man, I just uploaded a video where this would have been the perfect example to use in that video. Anyways, let's talk about it. It's a fucking shit show. What you think you see, what you think you hear, that's what it's about. Mood and atmosphere. No, it's fucking garbage. It's garbage. Mood and atmosphere. Now that I really like. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see. Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. Okay, in this video is gonna act sort of like an extension of the video that I just uploaded like an hour and a half ago. Maybe 2 hours ago as of shooting this video. Maybe it was 3 hours ago. I don't know. Anyways, this afternoon. And the crux of that video was essentially me talking about how important it is for fans to have, to implement nuance, to understand, to implement the ability to read between the lines, take things with grains of salt when we're talking about, headlines or rumors or, sources and, the information highway of the world of movie fandom and motion pictures. It's so important. And of course, that was in relation to the many people that seem to think that the sequel to this new Halloween movie that is supposedly in the works is just going to be called Halloween 2. Because of the headlines some sources were running with. They were running with the title Halloween 2 and blah, blah, blah. You can go watch that video. I'm sure you've already seen it. Well, this headline about Jason Blum and what he said would have been perfect to use in that video. But anyway, here we are. So what is the headline? Well, while I was having some dinner, I saw this headline from screenrant.com, pretty reputable source. There are better reputable sources, but nonetheless, they're not bad. This is what the headline says. Jason Blum wants to make 10 more Halloween movies. 10 more, give me more, more. Does he really want to make 10 more? All right. This is what the crux of this article is on Screen Rant anyhow. Jason Blum recently did an interview with MoviePhone. And this is what the article says, essentially, when it gets to the Halloween stuff. When asked about his plans to shoot another Halloween film alongside the latest entry, Blum answered, and I quote, "Well, we had talked about it, but right now we're not shooting any Halloween movies right now because we don't have deal rights to the sequels. But I certainly hope to make 10 more, but I'll start with one more." Okay, now there's two ways that you can interpret this very short blurb. You can look at this and take him at his word. The dude wants to make 10 fucking more Halloween movies. And you could make the argument. You could say, well, listen, he's a big-time Hollywood movie producer. He's a businessman. This is show business. This is not show art. That doesn't mean that filmmakers and studios and producers don't want to put their best foot forward, as I've said many times. Of course they do. But at the end of the day, there I go again. But at the end of the day, it is about making money. And if you could say to Jason Blum, Jason, if you knew that you could make 10 more Halloween films, and you knew without a shadow of a doubt, you just knew, you could see the future. You knew that each and every one of them would be huge box office successes. Would you do it? Well, yeah, you could make the argument and say, yeah, he probably would say yes. Who wouldn't? Money, 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 money. However, that's not how I'm reading this, okay? Nuance, people, all right? And the reason why I don't read it this way is for two reasons. Number one is the number 10. 10 is that number you use in, when you're just trying to make a point. When you go to the extremes. Oh, fuck, I had like 10 coffees today. Did you really have 10 coffees? Or did you have 4? Or did you have 5? Do you know what I mean? 10 is that round number that people toss out there. You know what? I'll be there in 10 minutes. How far away are you? I'm like, 10 minutes. Are you really 10 minutes or are you 15? Right? Do you know what I mean? It's that number that they toss out there. The other thing is something I like to call cinematic political rhetoric, okay? I don't believe that's an actual term. It's just something I like to refer to. That's what I call it. There's probably various things you could call it. Bullshit is another one. But nonetheless, by and large, so listen, I didn't like Halloween 2018 the way I was hoping to. I didn't loathe it or hate it as much as some people, but there are a lot of you out there that do. But there are just as many people out there that thought it was fan-fucking-tastic. I'm not one of them, but they did. They think it's the best fucking Halloween sequel ever. Maybe even better than the original. They exist. And regardless of what you think, if you think it's garbage and you think it's a big pile of shit, that doesn't matter. It does not matter. It made a boatload of money. And there are a lot of people that really liked it. Jason Blum is playing the political rhetoric game. When there's no information to give of any substance, you don't want to say anything negative or bad. You want to, at the very least, keep the status quo. Okay? So he knows that a lot of people loved his movie, loved the new movie. He knows that. He probably knows a lot of people were a little disappointed, to say the least. Who knows? Maybe he's even watched my review. I have no fucking idea. But he knows certainly that it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. He knows that. But he doesn't want to piss anybody off, right? He doesn't want to say, just leave it at that. He doesn't want to say, no, well, we talked about it, but we have no plans on shooting a Halloween movie right now because we just don't have the rights to the sequels. Well, that doesn't sound very romantic. That doesn't sound good. That sounds like a big pile of shit for all the people that want more, right? I don't want more. But for the people that do, you don't want to piss the paying customers off, man. So what do? You play the game, you throw a number out there. Oh, we don't have plans right now, but dude, listen, I mean, I'm all game for 10 more. Fuck yeah. It's just that number that you toss out, but he also says, but we'll start with one more. It's just, it doesn't literally mean he wants to make 10 more. It's not in this way. I'm not saying that he wouldn't if he could. I'm just saying that's not what he means here. It's that thing that you just do. Well, we got no plans, but don't worry. I mean, I'm totally down for 10 more if you want to do 10. It's like, oh, okay. Okay. It's playing that game. It's playing the game that film producers and publicists and managers and agents do. It's what they do. It's keeping that when there's no information to give, you don't want to say you don't have anything. It's like if you're a filmmaker, right? And you shoot a movie and you have, and it's a huge success. And a producer comes to you and is like, dude, I love that fucking movie you just did, right? And they're like, hey, listen, do you have anything else you're working on? You never say no. No. You never say no. Now, you don't want to lie, of course, no one wants to lie, but what do? At the very least, you got to say, I'm kind of working on this thing that, I got a few ideas that I've jotted down on paper and I'm trying to flesh them out a bit, and it's really cool, this one genre is kind of like this horror thing or whatever that I'm kind of thinking about or whatever. At the very least, that may prompt the producer to go, oh, cool, okay, well, when it's kind of, fleshed out a bit, send me a treatment. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. And then you're like, whew. You don't want to say to the person, I don't have anything, because you just look like that's what this is. Well, we don't have any plans right now, but don't worry. I mean, hey, if we get the deal, 10 more, 10 fucking more. That's what this is. Okay, so nuance is important. Reading between the lines, that's how I see this. That's what I'm taking away from this. He's not literally saying that, yes, right now I want to make fucking 10 more, because even in the fucking blurb he says, but I'll start with one. So the headline's already misleading. The headline wants you to think that Jason Blum literally wants to make 10 more now. No, it doesn't mean that at all. He's just tossing that round number that you toss out there, when you do that kind of shit, okay? Now, in regards to what this means to the Collider article that was up online just a week or so ago, it still rings true. Okay, because the Collider article, I believe, is still relevant. I do believe that the probability is very high that the Scott teams did submit a treatment. Blumhouse did like his ideas, and they maybe not, but they may be in the middle of trying to get him on board to write a screenplay. But just because a writer writes a screenplay doesn't mean that it's greenlit. There are hundreds, if not thousands of screenplays that are written all the time that move in, that are in front of the producers, in front of the studios. And it's like, and it goes nowhere. All the time. All the time. So just because teams may write a script doesn't mean that Halloween 2 will be greenlit. Okay? It doesn't mean that at all. We may never get one. We may not. And quite frankly, I hope we don't, because I don't think we need one. And as I've said many times, you've heard me say this, if you've been following me, I'm not convinced they're going to do it. I've actually said that. Just a feeling I have. And here we are, right? It doesn't mean they're not doing it, but he's basically saying, yeah, no, not this second. Like, we're focusing on other things. And they might have some guy who's Scott Teems who is like, yeah, dude, write something. I love your idea. Write it. We'll see how it goes. You know, I'll see what it's like. But it's not guaranteed necessarily. Right? Nuance, reading between the lines, it's so important. That's how I see it. That's how I interpret it. That's what I'm going with. What do you guys think? My name's Dave McRae. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can at facebook.com/manythingsdavemcrae. That's where I tend to post in the meantime and in between time when I'm not posting here. Link is in the description, as well as links to all my other juicy shit down there. 10 more. I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.